Hey guys, thanks again for joining us here at Hunt Fish USA. And don't forget, if you like what we're seeing, give us a like and a subscribe. And hit that reminder button so you can see when we put up more videos. I wanted to do a quick video here and do a detailed version of how we breast out our geese and pull the thighs and legs out. So if you want to jump straight to that, go to the 2 minute and 30-second mark. It'll take you right to that. But between here and there, there's a couple clips and videos of us out in the field doing what we do. Credit to the first couple pictures here. My buddy CJ, he was out with us a couple times, took some awesome pictures. I'll put a link to his site down below in the description, so be sure to check it out. And thanks again for watching, guys. All right, you ready? I hear him coming. All right, take him. You gonna get him like that?
Hmm? Get out. I'm gonna get out of here. Come on. Let's get.
Can you get the geese in?
Mm-hmm. Keep calling them. Here they come.
They're kind of high, like they don't want to come.
That other group is. There, they see them. There, they
All
just.
the ones behind them.
Yeah, they just turned. They just seen them. Stay on them, buddy.
What?
Stay on them. All right, slow down. See they're cupping up.
The ones on the left are coming.
See they're cupping up. Stay on them. All right, hold on. There they go. Look at you, calling them right in.
They're talking to you. Uh-oh, you got 5 getting away. Oh, you're calling him back. Keep blowing.
There you
There
go.
they come. Three or 400 birds out there now.
There it is now. Good job, buddy. All right, guys. Here's your goose. Again, right here's the top of the chest. You can feel where that ends, and the neck starts. Just simply right where the chest ends, neck starts. Just poke your knife in. Not a very big hole at all. Put your finger in the hole, and the idea is to get in between the skin and the meat. You want to make sure you get all the way down. Don't just get the underneath of the feather, the first part, because that's where you're going to get your mess generated. I'll show you what I'm talking about so we don't try to make a mess. But you can see here where if you're just pulling feathers, which I'll pull just a few here to show you the difference. A lot of guys I saw were just pulling feathers through the chest and then slicing it open. But if you just pull the feathers, you have that, you know, the skin here. And if you're going to pluck the whole bird, great. But if you're just going to breast them or take the legs out, by getting in between the skin and all the way down underneath where you expose the meat, like so, you can take that and peel it. And we're going to have feathers this time because of the way I did it. But if you start by not having done what I just did and start right underneath of the feathers, you get it started. And when you get it started, don't stop pulling. Pull all the way down. And what that'll let you do, you can get it and pull it clear down all the way off of the leg. You see where it comes all the way off the leg. And that's huge for when you're trying to do it later. When you're going to take the legs out, which I always take the legs as well. I don't. I take the breast and the legs. So, because of the way I started this one, trying to show you the difference there with the skin, I'm going to have some feathers on this one, but typically there is no mess at all with feathers being like they are here. That down feather usually all stays intact there. And that key to that is starting it right. If you don't start it right, it's hard to end right. Just pull that all the way down. It'll pull right off of that leg. So now at this point, pop out the esophagus and in its chest cavity, just like on your Thanksgiving Day turkey, you got your wishbone. Well, they have their wishbone here. So the trick is, though, you don't want to cut and poke in this way, because then all you're going to do is cut the breast up that's in here. You want to start all the way at the bottom. See if I can show you, so you don't cut the meat. You can see how the breast meat runs right tight to it. But if you take your knife blade in at an angle this way, and then again this way, you know, from the other side here, you know, you put your knife blade in this way and angle it in, start at the bottom of the wishbone. You can feel the wishbone. And if you start with an angle with your knife in, you won't waste any meat whatsoever. And then just hug that wishbone all the way up to the top. Go to your other side, start at the bottom, and just angle it in. Cut right up the wishbone, right to the top. And then when you get to the top, I like to use the edge of my table always. You can just pull it, but if you take and just push them downward pressure, you'll pop it right out. So now you have your wishbone just like you would. Now that affords you the opportunity to take your knife as you're going down this for the pull the rest out. You can now run your knife blade all the way straight down, and that allows you to get that whole front breast in one piece, and then that inner loin will come out. So start our process of going down, and I'm going to run my blade all the way down right to the brisket. The trick, make sure you go all the way to the brisket or you won't get that other piece that I'm talking about. That I'm not sure what it's called. I call it tenderloin, but I'm not really sure what it is. So then you come back to the back of the breast and just peel it off. Now when you're peeling, you see this piece I'm talking about here, it stays in. It's not a part of the breast, it's a separate piece. But and then you just fold that breast back all the way down to the bottom around your wing bone, and then out on the bottom. And just take your whole breast out. I didn't quite go down far enough with that. So now you got your whole breast. The front's all nice. It just takes a couple seconds to take that piece out. Now this tenderloin piece there, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm really not sure, but it's a piece that you don't have to slow cook. You can take and you could saute this and fry it up. I know a lot of people use it in salad recipes. So you make your salad and then take this, saute it, salt, pepper, and just put it in a pan and cook it, cut it up. Works out great. So I don't know, again, I don't know what the piece is called. I call it tenderloin, but take that piece out. So then you got your breast in that piece, and then you do the same thing on the other side. And again, we got feathers because of the way I started it, trying to show you the difference between the skin and the other. So again, same thing, keep it tight. Key is run your knife blade all the way down, straight down, and then come back. I'll go with my other hand here so you can see. But when you start to separate, you can see how that breast, it separates from that other piece. And you just stay close to the rib cage on the back, go all the way to the bottom, and I know your breast, just basically you peel it out. You don't really have to cut it a ton. And then get around that wing bone there. You can feel the bone, you just want to go right around that. And once you get around that, you start from the very bottom there. And just, I didn't pluck enough of that, pull that skin far enough down there. Lift that skin on. But again, the front of your breast, nice. That's where the wishbone was laying against. And a lot of the ones I was watching, the guys were cutting it, and they were cutting around it and zigzagging, and it was chopped all up. And then that other piece, you just go back in, stay tight to the rib cage, And the other piece comes right out with it. If anybody knows what that piece is called, curious. And then for the legs, trick is, again, make sure when you're pulling that skin, you pull it all the way down. Get on the underside, reach up underneath of the leg, and push up until you can see that bone pop out right there. That little bone right there. When it pops out, that's your starting point to cut behind to break. So where that is, you start right where the meat starts here. Just go behind that. That's all you're going to do. Once you cut behind that, and you can feel it separate, that's all you got to do. The rest of it you can do right with hand. Just reach in, hold onto that bone, and you can use that, and that'll pop right on out. And then after you pull it out, take the leg. I usually use a table. Again, just push down. It'll snap right off. Cut that off. And there you go. Same exact thing with the other side. Get all underneath. Push up so you see that pop out. When that pops out, that is your point to cut behind. You can feel it when it comes out. When you cut behind that, you feel that release. And what it does, just hook behind it, hold on to it, and then just simply pull. Sometimes you get more feathers than others, or the rest of the bottom of the leg. If you do, just pull it off. Comes right off real easy. And then again, get down bottom of the leg, put it on a table edge and push. Snaps pretty easy. And you got your other leg. Not much of a thigh on a goose. There you go. Done. And then you're left with your back strap, that inner piece, fillet, whatever you want to call it, the breast, and then that other inner piece, and then your two legs. Left a feather on that one. So then you wash them up, clean them up, good to go. Hope that helped some people anyway. And if it does, make sure you leave us a comment and hit a like button, follow, and leave us some recipes for your goose. If you have any ways that you guys cook them and you enjoy them, leave us some recipes, because I mean, there's so many different things you can do. You got a big goose breast. I mean, that goose breast and thighs, and you have the inner portion there, that little inner tenderloin, you want to call it. I use these. They make a really good salad. They're very tender. You don't have to cook them a long time to get you know, that tender taste. A lot of times with the goose, it's a little bit tougher. I mean, it's their breast. It's what they fly with. So it's not like it's not the muscle they don't use quite often. But let us know what you guys have for recipes, and we'll follow up with how we cook them. A couple different ways we do it, or we enjoy anyway. Always up for trying new ways. So be sure to like, share, and if you have any recipes, let us all know. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.